be doing some work. We're moving on with our next portion. So we've been learning about different places and their challenges, and we are going to move on to, oh, I can hear myself on echo. We're going to move today to being able to write about what we learned in the last section. So we are going to, we got all that work you did on the expert countries, you're going to actually now turn into some writing. But today we're going to look at an example, and we are going to go through and see how that note catcher you did before is going to be very helpful, because it's going to help you write what you need to write. So let me get my screen all ready. Okay. So we know we've been learning about challenges near and far. We've got some challenges here for sure, especially with COVID. But we've been overcoming them just like all of our friends around the world have been doing. So today's learning, oh, you can't see because I'm frozen. My friends here can't see. All right, let's try that. There we go. So today, here's our learning targets. There's kind of a lot of them, but we're really going to focus on, I'm going to help you through all of them today. So the first is that we need to make sure that we know what the gist of our informational text is. You need to have a basic knowledge of what we learned about Kenya for today. You also need to know about what the gist was for your own country that you studied. I can identify the characteristics of an introductory sentence in an informative paragraph. Whew, there's a lot of information there. Introductory sentence. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Introductory. Has anybody been introduced to someone before? Ah, what does it mean, Marin?
It means I just get birth, and Haley would say, bird, meet bird.
Very good. So what Marin said if they were introducing someone to somebody else, the third person would say, Bird, meet Marin, and would introduce them to each other. So the introductory sentence does that same exact thing. It introduces the reader to what you're going to be talking about. So perfect example, Miss Marin. So and it says an informative paragraph. What word do we see in informative? What word do we see inside informative? Come on, friends, help me out. What root word do you see in there? Ben? Inform. Very good. And what does it mean to inform? Go ahead, Finn. You're on a roll.
It means to warn somebody.
To teach somebody, right? To tell them something. Yep, to help them learn. So what are we going to be writing? What are we going to be doing then? We're going to be writing a paragraph that teaches or helps someone learn. And today we're going to write a focus statement that explains what your paragraph is going to be about. All right, so the last one is I can use my research notes to plan an informative paragraph. There's a lot of stuff we're going to do today, isn't it? So we really need to get started. We need to really focus. All right, so work through here we go. So our research question, oh boy, I didn't even touch it.
You keep your pencils
Yep, nobody's supposed to be touching their pencils right now. Remember I said to put them down. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's a bad deal. You gotta let Mrs. Aubin, think. All right. So our research question that we've been talking about all this time. What are the challenges people face when learning, and how are they overcome? That's what we've been talking about since school began, right? That's what we've been focusing about. What challenges are there, and how do people not let them get, those challenges get them down? How do they overcome them? So today, that's going to be your main idea. You're going to be thinking about how did what you learn about your country answer that question. How did the people in Thailand what challenge did they face, and how did they overcome it? What was the challenge in Zimbabwe, and how did they overcome it? What was the challenge in Finland, and how did they manage to overcome it? They didn't let it get in the way of their learning. So far, we have been really working on what a sentence is. A sentence is a group of words that express a complete idea and usually has a subject and a verb. And Mrs. Aubin has been working on that during skills. We have been working on that over and over and over again. So we really have a concept of what a sentence is, don't we? At this point, we have sentences. So this is an example of a sentence. Kenya is a country in East Africa with a desert in the northern part of the country. Is that informative?
Yes.
Does it teach somebody? Yes, definitely. It's a complete idea. Where? Kenya. So in fact, if we look at that, Kenya is our what? What is it, a subject or predicate? Oh, Kenya, subject, is a country in East Africa with a desert in the northern part of the country is our predicate. Is our predicate really long?
Yeah.
Yes. But our main idea, our main part of our sentence, our subject is that it's all about Kenya. So there's our sentence. So today, when we have been doing short responses, it usually has 2 or 3 sentences, right? Well, today we're going to start working on something much bigger called a paragraph. And a paragraph is several sentences that develop the topic. It's usually organized by introducing the topic, like Marin said, that that first sentence is going to tell us, is going to help the reader understand what the rest of the paragraph's about. It's going to develop our topic with reasons, with evidence, and details. So we're going to include, remember all those notes? I said work really hard on that note catcher, because what are you going to do with it later? You're going to need it. So the more details and evidence and reasons you had in your work that you did earlier in this week, the better off you're going to be for writing. And then we usually conclude something at the end. There's a sentence or a statement that wraps it all up so that the reader feels like it's complete. You don't just leave them hanging in the middle of the information. They kind of round it up. So, and then we are going to be using linking words or phrases to connect our ideas. So we have a lot we're going to learn about paragraphs. So what I need my friends at home to do, and friends here, is I want you to go ahead and look at page 50. What page is it? I just had it here, 51. Everybody turn to page 51 in their workbook. It looks like this. It says Kenya Paragraph Teacher Model. I'm going to actually get out of this and use my dot camera. All right. Does everybody see page 51? All right. Kenya Paragraph. So we all learned about Kenya. So the Kenya Paragraph is going to be just a lot of information that we already know. I'm going to actually use the paper one here. All right. So, and I'm going to make it bigger so everybody at home can see it, although you have one in your book. But I just want to make sure everybody can see it well. Make it even a little bit bigger. Oh boy. Oh, uh-oh. You know what, Mrs. Aubin? I think I forgot to record. Let me see.
No, you are.
I am? Okay, good. Oh, goodness. I'm a little scattered today, my friends. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Oh, thank you. It's good. Mrs. Aubin's keeping an eye on me today. Good. All right. So here is our teacher model. We're just going to read through it, and then we're going to talk about the different parts of it. Okay. So you don't need anything in your hands right now. You just need your eyes and your ears to read along with your eyes as I read aloud. Kenya is a country in East Africa with a desert in the northern part of the country. Ooh, does that sound familiar? We just looked at that sentence, didn't we? Getting books to children in the desert can be challenging, but Kenyan librarians have found a way to overcome this challenge. In some parts of Kenya, sand covers the roads and makes it hard for cars to get through. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Where did we put that information, or write that information? Ellie, do you remember? We got it from our text, and then we wrote it in a note catcher on page 38. So a lot of this should sound familiar. Librarians in Kenya use camels instead. The camels can carry heavy loads like the books and a tent used to make a library roof. They don't need much water and can walk easily through the desert sand. The librarian and camels come every 2 weeks when children can trade their books for new ones. The children treasure the books the librarian and camels bring to their home in the desert. Okay, so as you can see, I kind of think of it as when a paragraph is really nicely well done, it's like a hamburger. It's got a top bun, which is our introductory sentence, which we're going to look at in just a moment. It's got a lot of meaty things in the middle. It's got lots of details, a lot of things that we put in the inside of the hamburger, right? Maybe bacon or cheese and the patty and some other things. And then it's got a bottom bun. That last sentence is our conclusion. It wraps up everything and it goes at the end. So kind of think of it, yesterday we were talking about our main idea is our roof, and our supporting details are the walls. Here's sort of another visual for you to be able to use today of a hamburger kind of idea. Okay, so let's look at that very first sentence. Kenya is a country in East Africa with a desert in the northern part of the country. So that is our introduction, our introductory sentence. So we are going to take our red crayon or colored pencil. Everybody find that red one. And we are going to underline. I want everybody to watch what I underline. So Ms. Serne, you just need the red one. Everybody else can get put down. Everybody show me your red pencil here. Or a crayon, if you got a crayon. Excellent. All right, so we're going to underline that introductory sentence that's getting us interested. Kenya is a country in East Africa with a desert in the northern part of the country. You're just going to underline. Don't write on it. Right underneath it, okay? So that we can see still the words. And I'm just gonna flip back so that you can also see this real quickly. All right, I'm also gonna show it up here so you can see it on this slide as well. And my friends at home, I'm showing you on the slide as well. So if you need to go back and look, you can see that all of this is on the assignment today too. Good job, Ben. Awesome. Thanks for showing me. All right. So our introduction to our paragraph, introducing the reader. Now, why would it be good to tell the reader where Kenya is? Why would it be a good thing to tell the reader a little bit about Kenya? What do you think, Madison? Right, so if we just plop the reader into our middle of our paragraph without kind of telling them a little bit of information about it, are they going to be a little confused? They might be. So we're giving them a little bit of information so that they can kind of get an idea about what it is that we are going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Kenya. We're not talking about the United States. We're not talking about Canada. We're talking about Kenya. And it's telling us where it is. And then what does the desert part tell us a little bit? How does that help the reader understand where this place is? Elena?
It tells you where it is, like saying it's really frosty.
What? So you're giving the idea to the reader that it might be a place that's hot and sandy and that kind of thing, right? Because what did everybody think of when they heard the word desert? Did you have an idea of what that might be like in your head? Okay, it's great to give the reader that idea as well, because then they have that kind of picture in their head as they are reading. In the northern part of the country. So that also tells us that what we're talking about right now is not necessarily all of Kenya, but right now we're focusing about the desert part. Okay, so that is our introduction. Now, what I'd like you to so you're going to have to do some flipping back and forth here, my friends. Can you turn back to page 38 for a minute? Turn back to page 38. Should look a lot like this. Okay, where on this does that say something about East Africa and desert in the north? Where is that on our page? Abby?
The very top
Very good. In the geographical features section, right? So I colored this part red. So I am also going to color my geographical features. I'm going to underline that in red, because that part of our note catcher helped us with that sentence. So did everybody at home, do you see that on page 38? Did you get that colored for me in red? So you're going to notice that everything that I have on the note catcher is going to be in my paragraph. And so we're going to look at where did I get those ideas on my note catcher to put them in my paragraph. So if we hadn't done this together and I had a partner also doing Kenya, could they possibly have different things inside this box? Yes. Could they put slightly different things in their introductory sentence? Yes. So the idea isn't that we all have the exact same paragraph, is it? It's that we're using our ideas from the text that we then wrote on the note catcher to write some sentences in a paragraph to inform, because remember this is an informative paragraph. We're informing our reader about Kenya. You're going to be informing your reader about your country and their challenges. In fact, if you look up here, here's our research question. What are the challenges people face when learning, and how are they overcome? You're answering that question. Right now we're answering it with a paragraph about Kenya. You're going to answer that paragraph or that question with your paragraph about your country. Okay, go ahead and flip back to page 51. Let's see what's coming next. Let's see what's coming next. All right, so let's listen. Getting books to the children in the desert can be challenging, but Kenyan librarians have found a way to overcome this challenge. All right, so that sentence there, does it include, so it says getting books to children in the desert can be challenging. Does that talk about challenges? Yes. Does it also, it says, but Kenyan librarians have found a way to overcome that challenge. So that is telling our reader what the whole rest of the paragraph is about. So and when you're trying to tell somebody, hey, pay attention to this, this is really important, you're asking them to focus, right? Mrs. Harrison says hocus pocus, and then you guys say everybody focus. So that's our way, Mrs. Aubin and Mrs. Harrison's way of getting you to look at something or listen to something important, right? So this sentence is what we call our focus sentence, because it's telling your reader, this is what we're talking about here. The rest of what I'm going to tell you is super important. So listen to this. So we are going to underline. Oh, I'm going to get Charlie back in. So just so you know, he's back. He is. He's there. All right. So getting books. So we're going to underline. Are you ready? Did everybody have so we're doing this in green. Sorry. I forgot to tell you guys that I need a green. Mrs. Harrison's so into what she's doing, she forgot that she needs to tell you what you're doing. All right, green, 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 green. Here we go. We're going to underline this sentence that says focus, 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 everybody. This is what we're talking about today. Getting books to children in the desert can be challenging, but Kenyan librarians have found a way to overcome this challenge. Those two lines are green. But you're going to stop at that period. Stop at that period. All right, so that focus statement, you're going to have a focus statement just like that, and we're going to write it together today. We're going to write it together today, but everybody's is going to be slightly different because we don't want everybody's paragraph to be exactly the same, right? That would be super boring. So I'm going to help you and give you a sentence stem to help you get the words in. So where might we find that on here? Look at your page here. I'll give you a hint. It's blank at the moment. Where on here does it say focus statement? Where do you see focus statement? Paxton? Ah, right here. So we're going to underline that green. Focus statement. So that's where we want to be. We're going to underline that. I'm also going to put this here in case somebody missed where we were on the paragraph. So right now there isn't anything here, but we're going to make sure that we have something written nicely here on your page today. They've been doing page 38. They have it. Yep. We did. It's that's on page 51. We're going back and forth. Yep, page 38 and 51. All right, you guys at home doing okay? Getting green colored in. Ben, you doing okay? All right. Yeah, he had disappeared for a little bit, so I'm glad he's back. All right, so just give me a thumbs up, everybody, if you've got this sentence in green for me. Miss Layla, are you good? Did you see the green part? Okay, I'm glad you're here today. I hope you're feeling better. All right, Miss Isabella, you good? Excellent. Leo, are you good? All right, Robert, how's it going? Are you good, bud? Excellent. Miss Clara, you doing okay? All right, Gavin, are you in the right spot? Gavin, are you good? Thumbs up? All right. All right, thank you. My other friends who have their thumbs up, good job. All right, so we're gonna go back to, all right, so far we have our introductory sentence, which is telling our readers, hey, I'm gonna teach you about something. There's this Kenya place, and I'm gonna get it in your mind what Kenya's like. That's our introductory sentence. And then I've got this green sentence called this focus sentence. And this focus sentence is, hey, look at this. This is really important. This is what you're gonna see. I'm gonna tell you more about this this particular idea. So this is our focus statement. And now we said that there were challenges and we said that there are ways that they overcame them. Where do you see there about challenges on page 38? Where do you see the challenges? Where can everybody point to it for me? On their paper, where do they see the challenges? Oh, I see Serna's got it. Nope, I'm looking for it on the page. There you go, Elena's got it. Challenges, so we're on page 38, Henry. We have to flip back and forth, I know it's hard. Page 38, where do you see those challenges? Ellie, you got them? Right, so there's this side and this side, right? The challenges came first. Let's just really quickly look at those that we wrote down. Hard for cars to get through, sand covers the roads, children don't have access to books. So those are our challenges. So let's see what our first sentence is that isn't our focus statement. These are our details now. In some parts of Kenya, sand covers the roads and makes it hard for cars to get through. Did we make a sentence out of those notes? Yes. Yes, we did. So you're going to get the color yellow. I'm going to use a marker instead for this one because yellow is really hard to see and distance-wise, especially. So in some parts of Kenya, sand covers the roads and makes it hard for cars to get through. Is that our challenge? That's our challenge. And our question that we are answering is, what are challenges people face when learning? There's our challenge, nice and yellow. I'm doing a marker, but I hope you don't. I want you to do it in colored pencil or crayon so you can still see it. But I did it in marker so you can, so my friends at home can see better and my friends here can see better. All right, so go ahead and color that one sentence yellow, my friends. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Miss Haley, you doing okay? All right, got the yellow one for me? All right. How's my friend Robert? Robert, you doing good? Got your yellow? All righty. How about Ben? Ben, how you doing on your yellow? Got it. All right. So let's go back. If that sentence is our yellow sentence, where on page 38 is our yellow section? Where did you point to it earlier? You should have, right? It's our challenge. This is our yellow. This is our yellow section. Now I keep going back and forth because I want you to see how they connect. Because eventually we're gonna do this on your own note catcher so that it helps you write your own paragraph. Okay? So here's our challenge. Everybody's got their, oh my goodness. I have a lot of people who are chatting, Mrs. Aubin, at least my chatty.
I'm chatting with them.
Oh, okay, just making sure, because I got 87, 86, 87, 88, 89. Little the numbers popping up, so there must be a little. Okay, just making sure my friends were being appropriate. Awesome. All right, so we've got a challenge. Everybody good with the yellow? Give me a thumbs up if everybody's good with yellow. All right. So now we know what the challenge is. What would you expect, Josh, to come next?
Blue.
And what you are correct. It is blue. What do you think is going to be blue? What do you think is going to come next in our paragraph and in on our note catcher? It is going to be blue. You're right. Abby, what do you think? All right. So it's going to be how they overcome, right? How they overcome. So let's do that. Let's get our blue. Everybody get your blue. Here we are, blue. Blue. All right. We're looking for all these things that we find in this section, and we're all of our details, right, Madison? All of our details of how are we, here's our challenge, and here's how we solved it. So let's look for those sentences. Librarians in Kenya use camels instead. Yay. The camels can carry heavy loads, like books and a tent, used to make a library roof. Did we write that in our notes? Yeah, we did. They don't need much water, and they can walk easily through the desert sand. Ta-da! More ideas? More ideas, right? More details. Oh, let's check the next sentence and see if it goes with it. The librarian and the camels come every 2 weeks when children can trade their books out for new ones. Is that another detail about how they, yep, it sure is. All of that section. Oh, maybe having trouble with connecting.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You put them in just once?
Twice.
Twice, okay. I'm gonna give them credit for being here.
Sure, give it a shot. You bet. All right. My friends at home, are you being able to see that well enough? Okay. So I know it doesn't look so blue on my screen. Hopefully you guys are doing, it looks blue to you guys. Okay. All right. All right. So there's our blue section. Okay. Give me a thumbs up when I know you're done, just so I don't want to go too fast, but I don't want people sitting around bored either. All right. Nixon, you good? All right, just making sure. Miss Cernay, how's it going? Do you have all your blue ones? You got your blue ones? Okay, just making sure. All right, so where on here, on page 38 then, are we gonna have the blue? Where am I gonna color, Mr. Henrik? Ah, very good. Are you guys starting to see the connections? Yeah. When Mrs. Harris, when you heard, I have to write a paragraph. That might have felt like, wow, that's a lot. That sounds like a lot. But I wanted to make sure that you understand that you're going to be able to do it because you have your note catcher. The note catcher is the key to every sentence in your paragraph. It is all of the research that you already did. You're going to just turn this part into a nice paragraph that's nice and neat and makes sense for our reader so that our reader understands. Okay. Huh. I have one box left, and I have one sentence left. Huh. What do you think is going to happen? What is our logical conclusion, Sir Renee? Yep, you go all the way from librarians in Kenya to the second to last line new ones. Oops, sorry. Sometimes so I have one sentence left and I have one section left on my note catcher. What do you think, Elena?
I think we put the red for the bottom of the bun, and then we put purple in
So
the bottom.
Elena's guessing we do red. Well, it is a conclusion sentence. And so Mrs. Harrison went back and forth on this. Strangely enough, EL didn't tell me, even though I read twice and really looked to be able to check what color it is. So it is a conclusion sentence, and conclusion sentences often are that red color. But I think, let's read it together. The children treasure the books that the librarian and the camels bring to their home in the desert. Does that sound like it goes with our focus statement? It kind of wraps it all up, doesn't it? So you were close, Miss Elena. We definitely are going to color it, but we're not going to color it red. We're going to color it green. Yes. Because it wraps up, but it's kind of like our focus statement. It tells, yes. Sure.
The lettuce is
Maybe you're having lettuce instead of other bun.
We're only having one piece of bread, one thing of lettuce, some cheese. What's the
Okay, Miss Elena, thank you. Don't confuse everybody because they're trying to get their colors. And then right here. So last sentence and last, I'm going to go. We're doing green. All right. So last sentence, and let's look at it. Let me look. In Kenya, oh goodness, voices are off, my friends here. In Kenya, the children overcome their challenge with the help of a librarian and camels. Here we have the children treasure the books the librarian and the camels bring to their home in the desert. Does that sentence have to be exactly what's in our box? These are notes, right? I spiffed up this sentence a little bit because just to say in Kenya, the children overcome their, it was kind of boring, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes. So how about treasure the books? Remember they were hungry for books? They were hungry for books. So I decided that I wanted to include something a little bit more interesting in my last sentence. The children treasure the books and the librarian and the camel bring to their home in the desert. Did I connect back with the beginning? I put desert in there to remind them about why we do this, because they live in a desert. So they have here this part green, and then they have this part. So now we've colored all of Kenya, right? Everybody at home good with all these colors here? 1, 2, we have the green at the top, red, yellow, blue, and re-green. Okay. And we have all of our colors here. Would it make sense now for us to color code our own note catcher so that we're ready for each part? Yes. So if you could please, and I'm going to do it with my Canada one, but you guys are going to do it with your one. So this is on page 44. Look at page 44. You have your own one, don't you? And friends at home, you have one for Finland on page 44. Page 44. Page 44. Now mine's on Canada. Yours at home is on Finland. And yours is also on Finland, because you were home last week in Finland, right? And then we have Thailand over here, and we have Zimbabwe, right? Okay. So let's color code now on here. What sentence did we start with on the other one? What color did we start with, Paxton? We started with the geographical features. The red was our introductory. So take your red pencil. Everybody get your red pencil, writer, red pencil. And then you're going to, on page 44 with your place, you're going to underline geographical features. Your first sentence is going to come from geographical features, okay? So if you wrote some good notes in there, guess what? Your sentence will be super easy. If you wrote some good notes. Now this is Canada, so just don't expect to have the same notes in yours, right? So there's our geographical features. Okay, what color did we do next? We did green. But where on here did we put green? Focus statement, right? Because after we tell our reader a little bit of information about what we're going to be talking about, then we need to give them a focus statement. We need to tell them what this paragraph is about. We need them to go, zoop. Oh, I need to look in there. Now, there's nothing written there yet. But guess what we're going to do today? We're going to write in a focus statement in this spot. Not yet, but we're going to. Before we leave here, everybody's going to have their own focus statement already written. So that's one sentence in your paragraph that will already be finished. Okay? So there's our focus statement. So what color did we use next? Let's see. Ben, what do you know what color we used next? Okay, I'm listening to Ben, my friends.
Maybe we're gonna use yellow.
Yes, we are. Good job, Mr. Ben. So where is yellow going to go, Mr. Nixon? The challenge. So everybody color under that challenge. That's what your next sentence is going to have. Something from that box right there. This is our yellow. That's sentence number 3 is going to come from that section. All right. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Who at home can tell me what color comes next? Jensen, what color is going to come next?
Blue.
Blue. So get your blues. Here we go. Blues. Everybody blue? Okay. What section are we going to color blue, August? Where are we going to color on here? Blue. Very good. How the challenge is overcome. We're going to make this nice and... Okay. Yep. I will do that. Thank you. Oh my goodness. This is pretty important. I hope. No, I know you know. I hope everybody at home is paying attention. All right. So what's my last sentence? What color is my last sentence, Miss Haley? What color did we do on the last sentence of our paragraph? Oh, Haley Collender, sorry. Miss Haley, unmute and tell me what color our last sentence is.
Green.
Green, very good. Okay. And then where on my note catcher is that going to be, Gabe? What do you think? Oh, yay, Miss Lila, good job. Where on my box am I going to color green? At the bottom. Everybody do that for me. It's going to be your last idea. Now, I know some of you have empty spots towards the bottom here. Some people didn't get all the way to the bottom. So my friends that are at home, I know that yours is on Finland. At the bottom of today's assignment is a page that's completely filled out. So if your note catcher is not finished, then you should go to today's assignment and look at the example and see if you can fill out the rest of your note catcher, okay? If this isn't completely full on page 44, you guys should go to the assignment and make sure you look and make sure it's filled in so that you can do tomorrow's work well, okay? All right, well, I'm doing good on time here. I even get done a minute early or something. That's a dream. We'll see. All right. So everybody have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. There's only 4, but 5 colored spots on their own page. All right. Page 44. Everybody got all those places. Okay. So now we're going to look at a focus statement. So I'm going to go back to my presentation. So all my friends at home, you know, you can always go back to this and re-listen and re-watch anything. So here we go. I'm going to go back into present mode for a minute. Here we go. So this is the section we need to work on right now. Is that focus statement, because I want everyone to leave here with an idea for their focus statement, okay? Because right now it's blank, right? Up at the top of your paper, we don't want to leave with it blank. We want to have a sentence there. So remember, what was the question? The question was, what are the challenges people face when learning, and how are they overcome? Well, I have a different answer about Canada than my friends at home who did Finland, as my friends who did have a different answer for Thailand and have a different answer for Zimbabwe. Everybody's going to have a different answer because you aren't experts. And eventually, when we're done with all of our paragraphs, you are going to teach someone else from the other countries about your country, because not everybody's talked about Zimbabwe or Thailand or Finland. You're not going to read their pages. You're not going to read their information. They're going to teach you. So your job is to be the expert of your country, because you're going to share that information with kids who didn't read about your country. Okay? So that's where we're going at the very end of this, is you're going to share this information with someone else. Okay? So you have to really know what you're talking about, don't you? All right, so here's our focus statement. We're going to write in that one spot right there. So I'm going to give you a sentence stem. Does everybody see at the top there? My friends in the back, can you see up in the right-hand corner where it says getting books to blank in blank can be challenging, but librarians have, and then a blank. Why would I leave blanks there? Why would I have to leave blanks there? Why would I have to do that, Cole? Right, you have to have, because everybody's answer might be different, right? Sonny, is your Zimbabwe answer going to be the same as my Canada answer? Of course not, right? So everybody is going, so I'm giving you a sentence stem. So you are going to start that in your focus statement area. So I'm gonna leave this up, but I really quickly I'm gonna bounce. Sorry, my friends, for bouncing. But right here, we're gonna write the sentence here. Now you have to write an entire sentence there. So are you going to have to kind of conserve your space? Yes, you need to make sure, so you've got your pencil out. Are you ready, Sawyer? Because we gotta have your pencil out, because we're gonna write on top of page 44. Everybody's gonna write on top of page 44 in this spot here. If you're a super big writer, you might have to do what? Kind of write a little smaller. If you're a super small writer, don't write so small you can't read it, because why would we want to be able to read this tomorrow? So you can continue with it, right? And use it tomorrow for your paragraph. So this is super important right here, okay? So writing in this spot, I'm gonna help you get there, all right? So here's my, I'm gonna bounce back and forth again. Here's my, uh-oh. I'm putting that away, all right. So everybody in that spot, you're going to write, see everybody see the, oh, sorry, need to put in present mode again. Technology is gonna get me. All right, so right here, everybody's gonna write getting books to, so let's all get those 3 words written down. Getting, right here on in pencil, regular pencil on the top, getting books to. I'm gonna do it with, how am I gonna bounce back and forth? All right, so I'm gonna write getting, capital G, E. Oh, I should write with my other pen. What do I have? That was weird. I usually write with that pen. Here we go. Getting. How many T's does getting have? 2. Books. 2. getting books to. So the next part has a blank because everybody has a, who are the people who, look, it says who are facing the challenge. So in mine here is Canada, but think about, but who in your country? So in some places it's children, right? In mine it says communities too isolated to, so everybody should be looking at the who on their paper. Who is getting the books? Getting books to, and then this is your who. So whatever you wrote in this section, right, Madison? Whatever you wrote in this section here is probably going to be part of your answer here. All right. So Mrs. Harrison is getting books, getting, I mean, that's the, don't I? Getting books to, and I'm going to put isolated communities. Is that what you're going to write? No. What do you think you might write in your spot? So Elena says children, kids. Okay, kids. So kids in Zimbabwe. Okay. Somebody from Thailand. What might you write in that blank? Surname. Okay, so that's perfect. So we are going to, in the next one, we're going to say the where. Okay, so what was before you got to the where? You said children, kids, children in remote villages. So you could say getting books to children in remote villages, couldn't you? Miss Serne, you can write that right there in that spot for me. My friends in Finland. Well, you're not in Finland, but my Finland friends, who is your who? Who is your who? Who's willing to share that for me? Who are you? The next couple words, what are you going to write there? Isabella, what are you going to write in that spot right there?
Students in Finland.
Students in Finland? Love it. So so do we all have something slightly different there? Yes. So make your choice and write it right here. So Isabella's going to say getting books to students in Finland or whatever. I think that's what she said. Getting books to, Elena said kids. Getting books to, Serne said children in remote villages. Love it. So do we go from a small word to some of us had phrases? Is that okay? Are you making your own choice? Yes. Don't make the easy choice. Make the good choice.
Tell you what Lima Mars said.
Yes, please.
Getting books to children in villages may be challenging, but the librarians have camps.
Oh, librarians have camels? So we're gonna have to, yeah. Well, we're not ready. So Miss Lila, we're not quite ready to get to the end, and since you're Finland, I don't think there are camels involved. So hold that thought. Getting books to blank, and then if we go back here. Okay, so Robert, you're writing at the top of your paper, getting books to, and then I know you're doing Finland. So Isabella suggested students in Finland, or actually what did you say again, Isabella? Can you tell us again? Because I think there was more to it. Isabella disappeared on me. All right, uh-oh. Hey, who else can help Robert out for Finland, folks? Leo, what did you write, Leo? Getting books to, what did you write? Leo, can you hear me?
Ben's done, so maybe.
I wrote getting books to students in Finland.
Students in Finland. So Robert, that's 2 votes for students in Finland to write that in here. Getting books to students in, and the in part is what we're going to do next. So, because some of you just said I would have written, so getting books to blank in blank. Is it important that we have the name of our country in there? Yes. So getting books to students or kids, or I said communities and isolated communities in, and then this is the name, this is your place, right? Don't write place, actually write your place. Write Thailand, right? Zimbabwe, right? Finland, okay? Getting books to blank, those are the who. This is the who. In, this is the place. Okay, are we all there? Have you written that? Getting books to, who are the people and where are they? Now, if you want to challenge yourself, you could say, like me, isolated communities or something a little bit more involved. If you're just wanting to write students or children, that's okay too. Getting books to, but challenge yourself if you're capable, okay? Getting books to, oh, you guys are seeing it in a weird form. I clicked on something, didn't I? Sorry, friends. Getting books to blank and blank, and then what are the next words you're gonna write, Sawyer? Yep, what are the next words we're gonna write? Can be challenging. All right, let's write that. Can, getting books to, and then you wrote the who. You wrote the place of your own place, right? Where your expert country is. Can be challenging. You got those words? Can be challenging. I'll wait for you. Are you writing that, Miss Astria? Get that down there for me. Jensen, you got those words written down for me? Can, okay. I'm giving you some time. You're good. Mr. August, do you have can be challenging written down for me? Awesome. Did you remember your spaces? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Then there's a punctuation. What punctuation do you see after challenging? Abby? Comma. Everybody add a comma? I mean, if we're going to use this later, we might as well add it now. Ooh, I'm not sure who's talking to me. Ben, say again.
That was Robert.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Robert, what can I do for you, buddy?
It won't let me type in it.
You're not typing. You're writing it on page 44. You're writing on page 44 in the top section. Just like here, I'll show you my doc camera again. All right, right here. We're writing it right in this section here. Getting books to, and then this is your who. Students maybe, children, I'm gonna say communities, in, and then this is where your place goes, Finland. Can be challenging, but, toggle back again. Here we go, but librarians, here, let me go back to my stock camera. Is that better? No? All right, let me go one more time. My friends who are having trouble seeing, I want to make sure I have as big as possible for you. How's that? Is that better? Okay. Getting books to who? In the place. Can be challenging, but librarians have, now, oh, I hear Henrik already, he's already planning ahead. So we're not going to write camels because camels is Kenya. Camels isn't your country. So you can't write about camels in this. The rest of the sentence is yours to finish. But I heard Henrik, who I know is Zimbabwe, said something about another animal. What did you say? Donkeys. So I'm going to guess that Henrik is going to finish his sentence, but librarians have, I'm going to bet somewhere in the rest of his sentence is the word donkeys. Do you think that's going to make sense for him? Yes. Finland, are you going to use donkeys in your sentence? No. What are you going to use? Oh my goodness. Boats, says Miss Abby and Mr.
Boat.
Boats, very good. So librarians have, tell me something about the boats. If you're Thailand, what are you going to write about, Ellie? Elephants. Okay, so you need to finish that sentence and tell me what the librarians have done for you. You have to finish your sentence. What does the librarian for your country, how does the librarian solve the problem? So if you're in Zimbabwe, finish that sentence. Probably has something to do with donkeys. Thailand friends, finish that sentence. You just can't say the librarians have elephants though. You can't just say that, right? Does that make sense if you just say have elephants? Finish that sentence, make it sure it's finished. All right? Finland, if you can say the librarians have boats, can you tell me a little bit about, just maybe like 1 or 2 words about the boats? And not any of the details from later in your work. But think, so I'm gonna, Mrs. Harrison's gonna show you. Oh, I'm doing so well on time. So pleased with myself. All right, so I'm gonna show you what Mrs. Harrison would write based on what I see here. All right, are you ready? All right, I would say getting books to isolated communities in Canada can be challenging, but librarians have ways to mail books to the people. Was that just one word that I added at the end?
No.
No. So are you just going to add one word after have? No. But I would say, but librarians have a way to mail, because all of my stuff is about the mail. There aren't any animals involved in mine. There aren't any boats involved in mine. It's all about mail. So I would include, but librarians have a way to mail books to the people. All right? Okay. I want to make sure everybody's got that first focus statement, a whole complete sentence that makes sense. Okay, go ahead and keep working, Ms. Serne. Now, yours is going to be different, right? Yours is going to end in however in Thailand. Yes. Okay, well, write it maybe.
Write it on a piece of paper. I did it on the side.
Works. Hey, so my friends at home, the friends here said some of them ran out of room, so they just continued it down the side a little bit. You just have to be able to read it, right? Leo, you're feeling good about your sentence? Excellent. I'm going to ask like 2 people to share their, 2 or 3. Would you be willing to, in a minute, to share your sentence for me? The whole thing? Would you be willing to share it with me? Mr. Leo, do you think that would be okay? No? Okay. That's all right. That's why I asked. Haley, would you be willing to share your whole sentence with us? Yep. Okay. All right. I need everybody listening. Haley's going to share her whole sentence. Let's listen. Haley Collender. Here we go.
But the librarians and use them to carry books.
Wowzer, that was pretty long. Thank you, Miss Haley. We had a hard time hearing you. I think we just have a bad connection, but I can tell that you added a lot to that end of that sentence. Nice job. All right, Lila Morris, would you like to read your sentence to us? Go for it. And then I'm going to ask somebody here to share their sentence.
So my sentence is getting books to children in villages can be challenging, but librarians have book boats that can give books to the children. Then a bus picks them up.
Very nice, Miss Lila. Did you have Finland in that sentence somewhere? You might want to say villages in Finland. You might want to add that in there just so you have the name of your country. I liked it though. So Miss Lila, you also might want to, that end of that sentence, you might just want to say have book boats and then save that other information for your next sentence or next sentence or so. Okay. All right. Josh Carr, read yours.
Getting books to children for kids to read.
Okay. So
I hear a predicate.
I hear a predicate, but I missed part of your sentence, buddy. Josh, read it again. And then Mrs. Aubin can, this is a great,
Subject predicate.
okay.
Books to Thailand
Mm.
for kids to read.
And what do we want to ask him now? Getting books to Thailand for kids to read. What do I want to ask him? Anyone? No? What do you think, Haley?
I think we might need to say can be challenging.
He missed,
What? Who or what getting books?
we missed the who in Thailand, buddy. You missed the who. You missed the who, and you can be challenging,
That was a
but
great learning opportunity.
yeah, but librarians have, so Josh, go ahead and get those couple more words in there. All right. Elena, you want to read us your sentence? Sorry, friends at home. He wasn't quite finished with that sentence yet. So let's see what Elena's has.
Getting books to kids and Broadway can be challenging, but librarians have donkeys to help them.
Ooh, can I read that directly to my friends here? So Miss Elena said, getting books to kids in Zimbabwe can be challenging, but librarians have donkeys to help them. Is that a complete sentence?
Yeah.
Did that include all the parts? Certainly did. All right, my friends, nice job. Unfortunately, I can't have everybody read, and we're out of time, and Mrs. Aubin wants to make sure that her kiddos get everything back to their desks. So my friends at home, if you have anything else to do, if you finish that sentence there, and if this is not finished, if page 44 is not finished on your in your workbook, look at the assignment, and I have some notes in the assignment to help you finish. Okay. Okay, and Astria, you need to stay on with Mrs. Aubin. Okay. Okay, you guys stay, and then everybody else can leave, and Mrs. Aubin will help you do whatever. Okay, so Astria, give Mrs. Aubin like 5 minutes, okay? So, go to the bathroom, get a drink. She'll be back. All right.
Bye.
12:45.